What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. I hope everyone's having an amazing day. And today, I thought I'd be doing a little guide on Guurda Bogbrew, one of the daily login champions, who get pretty deep into the daily login reward program, who I actually wasn't a big fan of at the start. And I'll explain why in a second of my kind of thought process when she first came out. But since then, I've actually decided to fully book up this champion, and she's actually found a role in my Poison Explosion teams as a permanent status, and that is no kidding. So I'm actually really excited to showcase her potential in the ways that I've been using her, but also discuss some other strategies that I've seen in the community behind the scenes and stuff. So all of that being covered in today's video, and let's get right into it. So if we just head into the A1 skill here with the Brew Mama, and let me know guys, is this War Mother's mum? Or is War Mother Guurda Bogbrew's mum, or are they just both sisters? Because I'm getting confused. I don't know my verdict on that. You guys let me know, okay? She attacks one enemy. She has a 60% chance of applying a debuff spread effect, taking one random debuff from the target and placing it on all enemies under that weakened debuff that she does apply in her kits. And then will decrease the target's turn meter by 10% if they are not under any debuffs. So if they're not under it, 10% reduction. If not, a debuff spread effect, but at that 60% chance. Granted, it is conditional under that weaken. On the A2 with the Rotlim Decoction, there we go. Is that how you say it? Attacks all enemies. Has a 100% chance of applying that weakened debuff for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. And then after attacking, has a 100% chance of applying a 5% poison debuff, or stacking 2 of them, on all enemies without the weakened debuffs. So this poison debuff cannot be blocked or resisted. So if you do not happen to place that weaken, and you might get resisted for instance, you now have that chance to place that poison as well. So pretty nice there. On the Hemlock Surprise, has a 100% chance of removing 1 random buff from all enemies. Could have its uses in places like the Doom Tower or the Faction Wars primarily. And then will then place 2 5% poison debuffs on all enemies for 2 turns, and also removes 2 random debuffs from all allies. So not only is it a cleanse ability, right, by removing 2 random debuffs, but you're also just placing the poison debuff. Now this is very similar to one of the most famous champions in Raid. Shout out to Chosen for this one. Where is he? Battle Kazar. We can't find you, buddy. Please? There we go. So placing a debuff and then attacking and then hitting the debuff, right? It's 2 completely different things, and that's why Battle Kazar is so sought after in this game, because it kind of mitigates the affinities, right? So when you're facing affinities and you want reliability, when you're progressing in particular as well, I can now go into stage 24 in Dragon hypothetically, knowing that she's the Force affinity, and knowing that I'll still be able to place that poison without a problem. And she mixes into my other composition as well. So placing definitely has a lot of value in this game. On the Malin Tendrils, whenever an enemy receives a debuff, right, the turn meter will be decreased by 3%. Now, 3% doesn't sound like a lot. I agree, it's not humongous. But in the team that I'm going to be showing today, which is Poison Explosion, which I'm a huge fan of, in places like the Fire Knight, let's just say you don't have a Tomb Lord, right? Hypothetically, you're struggling with your Poison Explosion comp, you've got 1 allure, you can't get the speeds, or whatever it may be. Guurda Bogbrew can actually slot in and work as a turn meter manipulator alongside a lore, meaning that you don't always need decreased speed on your champions, which I'll showcase later. Because every single time that you place a poison or a drop defense or a weaken, it doesn't have to be a poison. You're reducing that, and those 3% actually start to stack, and hypothetically if you've got 30 or 10 debuffs, sorry, that's now a 30% turn meter decrease, which is actually very, very strong. Especially if you're pairing it with someone like a Zarvia or an Elenaru or like a Dark K or Activator, you're actually starting to reduce the amount of debuffs on those bosses or those targets, opening up the roles for more debuffs so you can place more of them, and you just find yourself in that rhythm of having that full coverage in these dungeon bosses. So this is why I'm a huge fan of it. She does have Arena Battles resistance by 65. I just don't feel like she's meta for that. I have tried it. I just feel like I'm forcing myself when I'm using the Guurda Bogbrew. But what I will do is, there is a niche team that my boy Tide Raku came up with, I believe. Huge shout out to you. Who used, I think it was Noble, and he also used a Calvalax and was kind of abusing the way that Calvalax opens up with the poisons, right? And then automatically reduces the turn meter for each poison that he places and allows you to cut in. No matter the speed of the opposition, or something along those lines, paired with Noble here. I'm not too super familiar on how that was working. So whenever an enemy's turn meter is fully depleted by any champion, has a chance of placing True Fear. So I feel like the way it might have been working was he's reducing the turn meter instantly, placing that True Fear with Desolation, and that was all coming from the synergy of those 3 champions, which unfortunately I don't have Calvalax, so I can't showcase that today. Also, she is capable of some solo strategies. I'll also link one of the content creators. I think Cold Brew did one. Everything will be right below if you want to check out those styles of teams. But okay, enough talking, guys. Second segment of this video is going to be the Masteries. Now, it's very subjective because, yes, there's an argument to go down to War Master, deal that War Master damage, and have some great use out of it, right? But I actually wanted to build my Guurda Bogbrew in a way very similar to my Bad El-Khazar, and placing the oppression at the bottom to increase and fill the turn meter rate by 2.5% for each active debuff cast by this champion. Of course, she's placing weakens, she's placing burns, so we're going to see a value of Oppressor, especially when I start to solo the Ice Golem. We've also applying the accuracy tree. We're heading down to the Master Hexer, extending the value of those poisons. We've got Evil Eye to reduce some turn meter. We've got Circular Magic trying to reduce some cooldowns. Spirit Haste for my solo Ice Golem. And just some sustainability, heading down to Retribution. For the A1 for the debuff spread effects. With the gear set, I've actually gone for Regeneration because she doesn't have a form of self-healing, like a Bad El-Khazar where he cleanses himself. I found myself in that rhythm of needing to heal in some format if hypothetically your other champions die and you need someone to have that safety feature for you. So Regeneration was like a no-brainer for me. So we're going through here, we've got some HP percent, some resistance, we've gone for some defense percent here, some resistance on the chest plate, we've got speed on the boots. We've got accuracy, we've got defense, and then we got HP on the ring. Now, compared to like my Bad El-Khazar, right? Sorry to keep making a comparison, but look at this as like the sustain on him. So 56k, we've got 3.2k defense, we're going fast, we've got high resistance, but he has to heal himself, right? So the regeneration actually works very well with my stats being 63,000, 3.7k defense, 225 speed, crit rate and crit damage I have no care in the world for. We've then got 330 resistance to resist the minions of the Ice Golem, and then some accuracy to place our debuffs in stage 25 of those dungeons and not get resisted. So okay, enough talking. Let's just head into the dungeons. Now, the first team I'm going to show you is the Ice Golem. Why not? Let's do it. So this is the team that I've actually been using regularly. I've taken my Bad El-Khazar in the time being, and I'm very, very fond of it. So let's just go into the runs. I will show all of the presets towards the end. It is nothing new with Poison Explosion. But look at the value here, right? Let's just say you've got a trouble with controlling the turn meter, or your champions don't have enough speed. They're hardly going to be able to cut in and hit my Elenaru. Whereas with my Bad El-Khazar, if it's not speed tuned correctly, they might actually cut in and hit my Elenaru, right? And that could be detrimental. So working very similar here. We're placing our poisons. But now you're going to see the value of it now. Look at this, turn meter reduction, allowing us to cut in and take as many turns as possible at its starting phase. Now everyone's going to die, and guess who's going to solo it because we've got that resistance? Guurda Bogbrew. So if you don't have a Bad El-Khazar and you kind of see these strategies, you're like, oh, I really wish I could do something like a Bad El-Khazar strategy. There is a champion like this in the game, right? Granted, you get her very late, which I will speak about. So we're around 53 seconds. It is nothing outstanding, right? But I have seen as low as 1 minute and 1 second. It comes down to the RNG, and because we don't have reflex, if she's not booked, it might take a little bit longer, maybe 10 seconds or so. But if you've got a fully booked, you'll definitely see a better value, as you're seeing right now. We're placing a lot of the debuffs here. So there's those there. There we go. We're nearly there now. More poisons. And one more turn. And boom, there we go. So we got 1 minute 25 and Guurda Bogbrew, if I just move myself out of the way, 3.3 million damage dealt. And of course, that is down to that solo towards the end of that battle. But very impressive, right? Now, this is my downside, okay? I'm going to speak about this now. I know many of you guys are probably thinking the same thing. She is a free champion, yes. Technically, right? It just takes a very long time to get. And I feel like Guurda Bogbrew, if you got her earlier on in this game, players would see a tremendous value. But the downside is, because you get it so late into the daily login reward program, You might have already formed your teams, or you might already have a seer composition, and Guurda Bogbrew's value might not just be there for you. But I'd say the value comes from if you are in that stage of the game, or you happen to summon her early, which is why I'm making this video. Don't feel like you need to vote this champion because she's trash, because she definitely isn't. But in the endgame scenarios, if you're doing the daily login program, and you want to maybe switch to Poison Explosion, you can definitely see here, she performs very, very well. So, okay, let's head into the next dungeon. We're going to go into the Dragon's Lair. I'm going to go into stage 24 for this one, okay? And the reason being is, I want to showcase that we can still place those poisons without the need of being in the wrong affinity. See that there? Because we're placing and not hitting with that A3, we're still able to combust and have all of those poisons up for reliability. So there we go. Poisons going through. We're reducing some turn meters. No problems. We're going to combust here. No problems, guys. Look at this. Now, many champions can fulfill this role, don't get me wrong, but it's an option out there. And I really, really enjoy the way that she performs. And the main thing with her is as well, right? Like Battle Kazar, yes, you get a damage increase of 20% against targets under bosses, right? But with her, she actually applies a weaken debuff, okay? So, as you see here in this team, we have got no weaken. And if we want to start amplifying our raw damage, right? Being able to place that weaken is actually going to help us perform very, very well and still get a damage increase from our champions, right? But look at this. Some of them have dropped off now. And look who's still alive against the wrong affinity because of that regen. So 56 seconds. It's really, really good, man. Really good. I think I average around 1 minute to 1 minute 10. Put her in instead of Bad Alcazar, and I'm seeing a great value here. It could be because of the weaken, honestly, but I'm not too sure. I don't know. It's just working out for me, right? Okay, so final place I'm going to showcase, guys, is going to be the Fire Knight's Castle. Now, this team is not fully optimized. I just want to mention that there. But the main reason why it's not optimized is because of this simple reason. I want to showcase how this can really affect players coming up in this game, okay? Now, my Allure is fast, okay? My Dark Hail is well built. So is my Elenaru. And of course, this is the endgame team. But if you carry this down into the lower thresholds of the Fire Knight, let's just say you're doing stage 20. I want you guys to see the value of how it can help out somebody like your Allure if you do not have the luxury of a decreased speed champion. So let's get into this one here. So we're not going to be one-shotting the waves, but the main thing I want to showcase is the boss itself. There's some poisons. We got a bit of resisted there. That's okay. No problems. Probably not going to one-shot. It's fine. But now watch this. Every single time that we're placing debuffs, it's allowing us to just keep full control because they're not going to be able to take a turn, right? So here we go. We're going to come through on wave 2. Hopefully we can one-shot 1. We have done it before. So there's some poisons. There's some more poisons. We didn't get resisted. There's some extensions. We're going to come through now. Combust. And look, now we're going to place more debuffs. They're not going to be able to hardly take a turn, guys. See that? Reduce some turn meters. Look at this. And all that poison is just going to kill them now. Now, against the boss itself, as you see here, no Tomb Lord, who I traditionally use. Definitely more optimal. Let's just crack this shield. Boom. Drop that turn meter. Now, look at the turn meter, guys, okay? Pay real close attention. So, we've got no decreased speed, but every single time, we're going to combust with our Elenaru, right? Every single time we place that poison debuff. A burn. Anything that you place, it's just going to reduce the turn meter, right? And that is allowing us to keep that 3%, 3%, 3%. And then the second that the debuff bar gets full, Dark Hail or Elenaru is going to combust it all. And then we can just reapply them and keep that full coverage. And I think it's a very cool synergy, man. So if this is something that you're struggling with in particular, look no further than the Guurda Bogbrew. You don't even have to, like, well, I'd say you potentially might want to max her up. But you might not need to book her to get this full value because the passive doesn't need books, right? Look at this. It's amazing. Not the fastest time in the world. Of course, we didn't one-shot the waves. But with some speed tuning and stuff like that, or maybe bringing in some other champions like Richthof the Bold, I would definitely see a better value here. So 1 minute 45 seconds. Not too bad at all. I'll throw up here as well. This is just a run that I did on the Faction Wars and actually got to my best time using a Guurda Bogbrew. So definitely held into that true value there of the ways that she can apply the Faction Wars. But unfortunately, it's not open today. Alright then, so we are now in the Doom Tower. I'm currently on like stage 30, forgive me. I can't go to a higher floor. But let's just make up like a fun little team, right? We're going to have no Kaimars in there, nothing like that. Let's just get some fun poison champions in, why not? We're going to get in a Guurda Bogbrew. We will put in a... Who can place more debuffs as well? Maybe we can get Rich off the board in there. I know that he likes to place a lot. And then maybe have some Lissandras in there. Get a bit of speed in, right? Who else can play some more debuffs? Missionarchy, why not? So let's just do this battle here. So hopefully now you can see the value in a Doom Tower scenario as well, where we can actually have a lot of 10 meter reduction, right? So look, we're placing debuffs, we're placing poisons, and in a way, like without poison explosion, we can start to control these waves with purely poison debuffs, right? Here we go. Nice, some Hex. All right, nice. There's some Brimstone and kaboom. Oh, come on, Rich off the board. I thought you had a blessing on to use the... I think it's the Reaper I got on him. I'm not too sure. I might have changed it. More poisons. Look at this. 10 meter reduction. So it's just that great form of crowd control without needing a full crowd control kit like a Lissandra, if that makes sense, guys, right? And obviously, she's bringing in stuff like cleanses for your team. She's bringing in the stuff of removing debuffs on the allies. Let's see if we can see a bit of that with the increased speed there. Hopefully, we can see it. Oh, we managed to... Okay, so we removed it with Missionarchy, but it's okay. Hopefully, you guys get the drift there. There we go, no problems. Coming to wave 3. Boom. We've got some weakens on. You see there? We didn't place the weakens on those 3 allies. So what happened? It actually replaced it with a poison which couldn't be resisted. So in those scenarios, you might see a bit of value from the poison there and all of that good stuff. We actually might die here. Let's see. Can we finish this one off? Oh, there we go. Look, we've got a bit of removing debuffs. I just wanted to showcase the full kit. So this is actually an ideal scenario to showcase it. Oh, there we go. Some removing debuffs. Come on. There we go. Some more poisons. Drop defense and weakens. Is she going to be able to solo the rest of this? All right, come on. More poisons. She's getting a lot of resisted. She probably hasn't got enough for the Doom Tower on the hard mode. Nice. Come on, you got this, Guurda Bogbrew. We believe in you. The viewers believe in you. Let's go. All right, there's some poisons again. And she soloed the Doom Tower. Come on. Oh my god, what was that ability there? I've never seen that one. Oh no. We're gonna have to start removing some debuffs. Oh. Uh-oh. Underpriest Brogni is becoming a pain. There's some poisons. Oh no. Alright, we're gonna lose this one. We've lost. Oh, come on. More poisons. You got this. No, you haven't got this. Do you? Can you heal enough? Oh, she's done it. Yes. We did it. 450,000 damage. I was so anxious there. I thought she wasn't gonna do it. So, yeah, I'm just gonna end up this video here with some soul stones. Why not? Let's go. Can we get something cool? Come on. Get a Bogbrew. Bring me out something that I want. Scion, that's definitely a daily login reward champion I don't want to showcase. Ooh, a 5-star Ghoulish Ranger. I'll take that. Even though he's not the best champion in the game, but can't complain of a 5-star, right? We can sell it. We can sell that. All right, nothing insane there. So guys, yeah, that is going to be all for today's video. If you did happen to enjoy it, I would appreciate a cheeky little like and a subscription. It really does help out the channel and it is free to do. And yeah, hope you guys have an amazing rest of your weekend and 2023, depending when you watch this video. And I'll catch you guys in a video soon. Peace.